These girls are mean. I'll tell you, they're tough, and those falls kind of make them come back stronger on the next event. Oh, that was nice.
That vault starts from a 10-0, and they will start deducting from there. Of course, there's not very much to deduct on that vault.
Yeah, she really goes high. She goes higher than the other girls have so far. And so as a result, she lands a little closer to the horse, which is okay.
Nicole is 14 years of age, and again from Pittsburgh, Kansas. As her coach looks on here, trying to hope that there will be a better second vault, but it's going to have to be a pretty good one to top that one.
She really needs to concentrate on trying to stick her landing. If you do that, that's the last thing the judge sees. It's very important.
Wow, that was better, I thought.
Much better.
She kept her body a little straighter on her pull, so her landing was better.
So an appreciative crowd, and Nicole has done her job on the vaults with a look at the second vault here.
I'll be surprised if this isn't the top scorer so far.
I was just about to mention that. She was so much higher than all the other girls.
Tara Sherwood earlier was our earlier vaulting leader, and now she may very easily relinquish that lead to that vault there. Back to the bars we go. Dina Kalahar is our next out of Houston.
Dina's on a team, Gymnastics America, that's a brand new club in Houston, and it's a big surprise that they were third in this meet. Their coach, Kyle Brown, I have to brag, was one of my former gymnasts at HBU. Beautiful Jaeger. She goes down to the low bar. This girl's got very pretty body lines. Keeps good form. A little bit too archy on that giant, and a double tuck dismount. Nice routine.
Well, from the student to the coach, from the coach. And there's a performer here today in San Antonio. Well, the bars and the vaults are continuing. There's still some outstanding competitors to go here in San Antonio. And we'll return with all of that action coming up in the second annual Broadway Dodge Alamo City Women's Gymnastics Classic after this timeout. Tabulate the scores will give you, of course, the champion in each of the divisions, the bars and the vaults. The first two events being contested this afternoon with the floor exercise and the balance beam still to come. As the scores of the competitors are shown to the crowd here and, of course, put into our computer, and we'll pass it on. So far, we have seen some young names. We have seen some young people who have tried to do what they can for the U.S., but now let's see what maybe Canada's best can do as Monica Kovace. Our first vault.
Whoa.
Did she put some distance from the vault to the back where she made the landing?
There's a slight problem with that, though. Sometimes the girls, if they sacrifice height for distance, they can go real long, but they don't get quite as high. And that's the case with this one. It wasn't as high as the last girl, but it was very impressive, and it went a long ways for sure. So I don't know what they'll do on the score.
And, of course, as they look on, hoping that there will be a better jump coming up here in just a moment, once again for Monica Kovace. Monica, have you seen her before, Kelly, in some of the earlier competitions?
Yes, she also competed in Rotterdam, Holland last fall at the World Championship. She is a very good competitor. Unfortunately, she had a couple of mistakes yesterday, but she's looking great today.
She was very disappointed on the activities of last evening and is trying to do her best here. And again, a good score on the first. And this, of course, her second. They'll take the best.
Well, it's unfortunate her landing wasn't quite as good because I thought the vault was better in the air. I thought she went higher and still went almost as far. So she made that little bobble a couple steps on the landing, and that cost her some points.
So the young lady from Canada has completed her vaulting. We have not completed her competition today, though. As she gets off a good second vault, maybe not as good as the first, which more than likely would be the score they would take. Back to you now, even parallel bars. We move once again, and an interesting story here. Kelly, you told us that Tracy Cole, who is next up, is just coming off quite a severe injury.
Yes, Tracy has just recently been in a cast. She was out 2 weeks ago, so it's very exciting to see her already back in competition. Here she is on the uneven bars. It's a giant swing and a ginger over the low bar. She kips, cast to the handstand, preparing for a dismount, giant swing, and a double tuck. Very good landing. Excellent routine.
And that cast was on her arm?
She had that cast on her arm. She
she's
got
doing
out
uneven
2
bars?
weeks ago, yes.
Incredible.
There is excitement for the competitor, coaches as well, and both of you know what that feels like when, of course, the instructions have been given and it goes out and it goes as well as this one went.
That's correct. I'm just amazed that her arm was in a cast and she's doing bars. Nice double tuck dismount, good landing. She's happy.
We have concluded the vault portion as we've had all 10 of the vaulters. We still have 2 more of our competitors on the uneven parallel bar, and as a matter of fact, 2 of those that are very near the top. Wendy Bruce, who had the second high score in the bars last night at 9.70, and Dee Dee Foster still to come at 9.65. Keep in mind that Sandy Woolsey had a problem in the bars early on. She was the top scorer coming into today's competition, so either one of these on the bars could certainly overtake her and win this particular portion of the championship today. And we'll get our next look at Wendy Bruce.
We saw these 2 girls warm up, and they're incredible on bars. I hope they hit their routines. It'll be a good show.
Wendy had the frustration of the 1987 National Championships of upcoming with chicken pox and did not get to compete. So she had a more or less a diamond in the rough kind of snatched away. So she may be a little bit hungry to compete this year for sure.
She's certainly proving herself so far.
She, by the way, has competed in 3 invitational meets over the last month or so, and she's won them all. She's going for 4 in a row.
I think you're right. I think she is hungry. Oh, that was very high.
Kevin Brown, her coach.
It's the best one we've seen so far. And a high Jaeger, too, that front flip. Excellent body line. She's really enjoying the routine, putting a little extra style into it. It's a giant swing, a lot of power. Nice high double tuck stick.
Perfect landing.
That's good.
This by far has been the best uneven bar routine we've seen today.
We mentioned at the top of the show, long, hard working hours paying off, and certainly Wendy Bruce starting to reap some of the benefits now as we watch this routine again.
This right here was our Jaeger, and then she drops to the low bar. Pirouette. As Coach mentioned before, her form is just perfect. Legs straight, together. And watch this dismount. Perfect landing.
So Wendy Bruce, who will be back to compete both in the beam and the floor exercise, has concluded her vault and the uneven parallel bar. And now it's up to Dee Dee Foster. That, without a doubt, would have to be one of the ones you'll have to shoot for. The one that competed just ahead of her, and now Dee Dee Foster may have her work cut out for her. In the bars last night, a 9.65, finishing 3rd in that competition last night.
Well, she's got a 9.75 to beat after that last routine.
She another one of those members from the Browns Gymnastics in Orlando and the winning team of last night's competition.
Excellent. Girl's got power in reserve. She can do anything she wants up there. To a cross-arm grip, makes it even more difficult. Aggression is very important on bars. Girls have to be aggressive and really go after their routines. This is what she's doing. Oh, nice.
It's going to be tough. We'll see which one wins.
Dee Dee Foster. By the way, they posted the score. We just got it out of the corner of our eye. Wendy Bruce was a 9.75. So Dee Dee Foster now with that excellent routine on the uneven parallel bar has to certainly best that because she's got to come from 3rd and overtake Wendy Bruce.
Dee Dee is very aggressive. You can tell here on her giant swing. She's preparing her dismount. That was just excellent. Dee Dee is formerly a national team member.
So as the competition is wound down both in the vaults and the uneven parallel bar, the tabulations are in and we'll give you the champions. Coming up in both of those events in a moment. It has been spirited here in San Antonio. Don't go away. The beam and the floor exercises are still to come. We'll be back right after we pause for these messages in San Antonio. Antonio, Texas, as we have our meet just about halfway through. We still have the floor exercises and the beam still to come. And we'll also be having the results coming up shortly of the vaults and the uneven parallel bar. There are a lot of people behind the scenes of an event like this, and certainly one of the premier men is our general chairman of this event, Mr. Bob McClure. We had an opportunity to visit with him earlier in today. A meet with the scope that we have here in San Antonio obviously takes a lot of volunteer help, and we've got some great people here running this meet. Also takes a gentleman at the top to kind of coordinate all of it, and we're happy to welcome Mr. Bob McClure, who's the general chairman of the Broadway Dodge Alamo City Women's Gymnastics Classic, who visited with us today. And one of the things to consider last year, Bob, we were very excited about the competition. I think we've seen an equal amount of competition and competitive level again this year.
I agree, Sam. In the team competition last night, the girls put on a great show, and we've got our first international entry in the field from Canada, and they're going to put on a terrific show today.
So when you consider that these are not only looking at the team championship concluded yesterday, but now the individuals, all of these are looking for one thing, and that, of course, is the Olympic Games coming up in Seoul, South Korea. Anytime you have this event, the volunteers are here, but the people behind it, the sponsors, they are invaluable, aren't they, Bob?
That's right, Sam. We have School Supplies Incorporated from Houston, Texas, the distributors of the School Pack fundraising program, who are sponsoring the telecast, and without them, we just couldn't have made this. And they have a terrific fundraising idea for your group. It's called the School Pack, and it's a prepackaged school supply pack. And if you're interested in finding out some information about running a program or even being a distributor, if you could call the 800 number that you see on your screen right now, they could give you all the information you need. Or you could call me, Bob McClure, and I could help you too. My number is 512-655-4748. So the School Supplies Incorporated people from Houston have made this telecast possible, and we sincerely appreciate their help.
One of the things to consider, of course, they will give you all of the guidelines for the fundraising. It will take some tough work, but they've got it all lined out and make it very easy for you, Bob.
Sam, it's very simple because it's mostly done with parent-teacher organizations, but it's all pre-packed, and all the parent-teacher group has to do is take the package and hand it to the student on the first day of school, and they make their percentage, and gosh, it's just the easiest thing I've ever seen. So if you're interested in taking a look at it, well, by all means, get in touch with them.
Well, again, our congratulations to those people that have made it all possible here in San Antonio. An outstanding meet, and, of course, some very outstanding people behind all of the activity, headed up by Mr. Bob McClure, General Chairman, once again, of the Alamo City Women's Gymnastics Classic. The results are in now on the vault and the uneven parallel bars. We've got a couple of champions to announce already. First of all, Hutch and Kelly, we have the winner, and Monica Cavaccia, the young lady from Canada, came in with that excellent, and the combined totals once again up 19.50, but look how close Dee Dee Foster was in the vaults.
It was really close. Those three girls are excellent vaulters, and it was hard for the judges in this meet to make a differentiation between the three of them, for sure.
And, of course, Wendy Bruce finishing third, Stephanie Woods and Sandy Woolsey, along with Carolyn Olivier. That is your top six as they've completed the vaulting competition, with, again, the Canadian coming out with the victorious. As far as Cavacci, one of those that, as a matter of fact, hit the first real good vault, and this is the one that really helped her. And again, we were talking about the distance, and we look at it again here, Hutch.
Yeah, she is really some kind of vaulter, and as Kelly said, she did an excellent vault in the World Championships as well. So she's an experienced veteran, and it shows in this meet.
I think the disappointment of the competition of last night certainly may be off now after that one. Now let's go to the uneven parallel bars. Wendy Bruce has indeed won there, but again, another challenge from Dee Dee Foster, 19.45 to 19.35, and as you pointed out, Kelly, Wendy is certainly on a roll right now.
Yes, it's really hard when you're just, like you said, on a roll. It's hard to stop. Here she goes on the uneven bars.
Her routine earlier, again, almost nearly flawless here.
I think the judge's decision was right because Dee Dee was a little bit rougher and her form wasn't quite as good on her double back dismount, even though it was very exciting.
The score today on this was 9.75, by the way, which finally got her into the championship race. 9.7 last night.
On the floor exercise, Dee Dee Foster.
Notice her dismount is just flawless here, and she sticks it.
So our congratulations to our first two champions here, once again in the bars and in the vault. And now we move to our third event of the afternoon, and this is truly to show you the grace, the flexibility, and the beauty of gymnastics, our floor exercise. Dee Dee Foster will be our first competitor.
I anticipate an excellent routine here with the tumbling, especially because this girl has all kinds of power. Look at that. Oh. That's a double back flip. The first flip is laid out and the second one is piked. It's very difficult.
Obviously, she had a little too much power on that one.
Yeah. She sure had a lot of height.
Dee Dee, as you can tell, is just very expressive with her movements. Here's her tumbling pass, front to the double tap.
Hard to do it much better than that.
She really plays to the crowd.
Of course, a lot of women's floor exercise depends on how well the girl does what she does to her music. And I think this choice in music is excellent for Dee Dee. She seems to be able to really dance.
many times you do have errors in your dance, and that, of course, is the deduction. Dee Dee has hardly had any. Nice dismount.
Looked like she chopped her flip-flop a little bit. Is that why you gasped?
Yes. Actually, I didn't think she would make that last double back, but she